Hello and welcome to another D2 Crucible review. I'm Kelson. Today we're going to take a gander at one of my favorite sniper rifles called Succession. It's been one of my favorites for years. It's an extremely sexy and sleek gun. I'm just happy to review it here and share my thoughts, so let's jump right in. Succession drops from the second encounter in the Deepstone Crypt raid. It's very easy and quick farm, just try to catch it when it's the raid for the week. I'm not going to go over all the different strategies to farm it. Instead, I'll just simply point you in the direction of the legendary Fallout. He has great videos, and on the specific one, it's going to tell you everything that you need to know about getting all the red borders in Deepstone Crypt. I can tell you one thing though, when you are farming it, it's a good idea to bring a Falling Star Titan or Parasite or even Grand Overture. Any of those things should make this encounter super easy, make it a cakewalk. Moving on though, let's look at all the roles that Succession can have. I mean, really, this is a PvE player's wet dream. Reconstruction is just a great perk to have on a sniper, getting you up to around 6 to 9 bullets in the mag. It's an awesome feeling. In the other column, we're looking at Focus Fury, Vorpal, and Firing Line. You may be a PvE player and thinking, yeah, this review is going to tell me everything about PvE. Well, bad news, we mostly talk about PvP here, but we will tell you the God role. It is Reconstruction Firing Line for that extra 20% bump when you're standing next to your teammates. But let's move on to the more important things like PvP. So we see two big perks here that just scream Crucible, and you already know what they are. It's Snapshot and Moving Target. This is what I went for when crafting mine. Like I said, I've been using this weapon for a long time, and I just love this role ever since it came out a couple of years ago. You got Snapshot. I mean, it's basically, you need it on every sniper to use it in PvP. They did try to bring up the handling of all the snipers to not require Snapshot, but they still require it, so make sure you're using it with all your snipers. And then, I mean, Moving Target's just, tried and true. It's always good. It increases your aim assist, gives you that passive plus 10 aim assist bump, and it increases your strafe speed while you're aiming down sights. I mean, that just helps you in any situation right from the get-go. But one thing I am curious about, and maybe someone can help me out in the comments, is the perk Shot Swap. Now, I haven't really used this. This is a fairly new perk. But what it does is you get a kill, and then that gives you stacks of the perk that will increase your ready speed and aim down sight speed. So I'm not sure how this might be good for sixes with a sniper, but yeah, I'm not too sure about it. So let me know what you think if you've used it before. As far as the rest of the gun goes, you do want to have a good mix of handling splashed in with the perks. So what I did was I went Fluted Barrel with a handling masterwork, and just to give it a bigger bump in range, I went with Accurized rounds too. Remember, range does help you land the shots, so it's not like it was with stability where you want to have that to help negate the flinch. Unfortunately, they nerfed the flinch on snipers, so you get shot once and you're aiming towards the ceiling, and it's not going to change, I don't think, so no reason to craft it with any stability, just go for range and handling. As far as weapon mods go, I went with Targeting Adjuster and Quick Access Sling. I kind of jumped between these two, but ultimately I landed on Quick Access Sling. It's just worth it to have that snappier ready speed to get the follow-up shots, and really when you're using aggressive snipers like this, follow-up shots are really easy, and it's just really easy to clean up enemies. So I'd go with Quick Swap, but I understand if you want to use Targeting Adjuster, it's easier to snag those headshots, so do whatever you want there. You might even want to do Icarus. I mean, they did just fix airborne effectiveness, so airborne effectiveness, it's still pretty difficult to land the shots with a sniper, but if you want a 360 no-scope noobs or whatever, then you do you, man. Now that the roles are out of the way, let's talk about this gun's place in the sandbox. In my opinion, and this might be a bit of a hot take, I'd say that aggressives are in the kings right now in snipers. A lot of people are going to say adaptives are the best, and I understand, people love their ISOLs, they grinded for them for a long time, and they're good, they are great. The thing with aggressives is that you can get the quick swap kills really easily, and in this sandbox you have a bunch of guardians running around that have overshields, that have healing grenades. You just never know when you're going to need that extra bit of damage, and it really does come in handy. Every time you use an aggressive, you're like, well, I probably wouldn't have gotten that body shot kill if I'd been using an adaptive sniper, so I would, just stick to the aggressives. Anyways, kind of got off track, but the point I'm trying to make here is that you can definitely use aggressives in the sandbox. Once the section does get crafted, you have the right roles. It's fluid, it's great. I mean, you have all that handling from fluted, it makes a big difference. While you do have other aggressives like Silicone Neuroma, Frozen Orbit, Macabre, and Albruna D, just kind of comparing all these, you can see Succession has a lot more in the handling department, which is kind of where it counts for these. I mean, you want to have those quick swap kills when you aren't landing headshots. I mean, those are what make the difference. And believe me, I know that Albruna D and Frozen Orbit can roll Surplus Snapshot, and I have a Surplus Snapshot Frozen Orbit, and I love it, but the difference is that those aren't craftable. Even if you do get those 2 perks, your other perks probably aren't going to be as good. And I've been grinding Frozen Orbit since it came out, and I still haven't gotten one with a handling masterwork, fluted barrel, accurized, surplus, and snapshot. I mean, just getting the 5 out of 5 on those kinds of guns are really, really difficult. It's also true that Succession is present in the kinetic slot, so if you prefer energy weapons like the Posterity, which is another gun we just reviewed, you can use it there. So you can't do that with like Frozen Orbit and Albruna D and Macabre. One last thing is, my bet why most people might shy away from Succession is the zoom. I mean, Succession sits at 50. 50 is probably right around where people are thinking, no, I don't have the same maneuverability when I'm aimed down sights. I can't really snag all those headshots up close. And if it's a deal breaker for you, it's a shame, but I get it. I got really used to 50 zoom using Izanagi. I have like 6,000 kills with it, so I'm pretty used to it, but I understand other people who've been using like Bite of the Fox and stuff forever. They don't want to switch up to 50, so I get why you might not want to do that, but I think you can get used to it if you really try, and I think Succession's worth getting used to. But yeah, I mean, one of the best things about Succession is that thick scope, the thick reticle on the scope. It's a really unique scope, it's really clean and open, and then when you aim down sights, you have the big, fat, red, thick reticle. And I just love that. I feel like it makes it easier to land the shots, and yeah, I mean, I think that you'll like it too. Anyway, that's our review. I'm going to call it there. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.